Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to today's episode of 14 kph or Karla's Power Hour. So today we will talk about pricing and freelancers or independent consultants who seem to have trouble getting people to pay what they price them. So time and again, I meet photographers, designers, writers, marketers, filmmakers, all sorts of independent consultants, and they call themselves professional, but sometimes they publicly whine on Facebook and on social media why they think a lot of their clients are cheap, or why a lot of their prospect clients do not agree on the price that they quote them. So they go all out and say that some people are like just really cheap, that they don't understand the industry, and then they would sometimes give a rant or a lesson about how the production process really goes and what costs go into producing the service or the product. And then they think that they're doing it and they're doing the market a favor because they're trying to educate the market about what the real deal is when buying a particular service or a product. However, the surprise here is these clients and these customers are not stupid. Most of the time they know what goes into the production. Most of the time they know what kinds of things you have to do and what kinds of raw materials have to go to it, or what kind of things that you have to buy or do before you get to the final product or the final offer. But there's just one thing that makes them feel queasy or uncomfortable about paying you what you're quoting them, and this is because they don't think you're worth it. So although it's a bitter pill to swallow, a lot of independent professionals or freelancers should always remember that the market will always know what they want, and the market will pay a particular price that they deem commensurate or equal or fair to the service that they're getting. Okay, so now what's the problem? The problem is that there are a lot of struggling freelancers and independent consultants who are either not getting paid the prices that they want, and sometimes they just dip their price to get the client, or these independent professionals never get the gig at all. Okay, so if you're one of these consultants or artists, because sometimes I see artists suffer with the same problem too. So what do you do, and how do you change your mindset in order to reframe how you attack this problem? Okay, first you have to correct your mindset when thinking about pricing and when thinking about why people spend money and what makes people part with hard-earned money and giving it to someone that they trust with a service or a product that they think is valuable and commensurate to the amount of money that they're handing you. Okay, so first you have to remember that people are primed to buy. Okay, most people are ready to buy. In fact, very easy examples of this are these are airports, for example. So at the airports, you can see that, especially international airports, you can see a lot of designer brands just they're just standing there, and their products are just ready to be bought. So even if people are bored, or even if they really don't have the intention of buying, people are primed to buy, and we're excited to buy. And buying something and owning something that we feel that we deserve and we feel that is valuable, more valuable than the money that we parted with, then there's very high likelihood for a market to buy. Okay, so when a market refuses to buy what you're selling at a particular price, this is what we call price resistance. So price resistance does not mean that your market is not educated, or that your market is not familiar with all of the production and all of the processes of delivering the particular product or service. Sometimes, most of the time, the market knows what they're buying, the market knows what they're paying for. They just don't think that you're the right person to deliver it. They don't believe in you. They don't believe that you're worth it. And sometimes prospect clients will force you into, or will guilt you into, justifying your prices. But you can't just do that. You can't just keep justifying your prices. And if you have to justify your price to to a particular customer, to a particular prospect, just so you can land them as a client, then your client and service provider relationship does not start on the right foot. So it will only be a bad experience, or they will just micromanage you. You will not agree on some things in the future. Maybe you'll have payment problems in the future. Okay, so however, that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin, which you definitely know, is that there are service providers, products, services, brands that when people come to them, people already have an idea that they're expensive, and when people come to them, they're almost always ready to buy or to spend. Meaning, these people come to these professionals, artists, service providers, knowing and having an idea what they cost, and they're actually almost ready to buy. They're closed. You've already closed them. So another example for this is our like 5-star resorts and restaurants. People know that if they book a 4-star resort or a 4-star hotel or a restaurant, they'll definitely have a good sleep, and they'll definitely still have pretty good meal. However, they've already told themselves a story that they're a 5-star person, so they go to 5-star restaurants, and even if they add everything that goes into the processes and raw materials and everything, even if logically it might cost the same thing, the 5-star one is almost always extra because they're 5-star, because you are a 5-star person, and this is the kind of person that goes to 5-star places. Same thing as designer stuff. People come to an Hermes store knowing how much in general things would cost, and they will not haggle. They will not if they feel like they can't afford it, even like a cheap Hermes bag, they won't even enter the store in the first place. Okay, so me as a professional, a lot of people already know that I'm expensive, but a lot of people also have been my clients for years, and they know what I bring to the table, and they know what kind of results I can get them. And when you will not close everyone, but for you to close most people who come to you and ask you for your quotation or for a proposal from you, okay, there are things that you can do to slowly change how they perceive you. And you can apply some of the things that I have applied in my career, so that when clients come to me, they have an idea about my price point, and they're almost always ready to be closed. So one of these actionable tasks is, number one, you have to build a clear profile or a clear avatar of your ideal customer. You have to know who your ideal customer is. You have to know what kind of person you're talking to, what kind of person you can help the most. You have to know their wants and needs and their motivations. You have to know what their desired outcomes are, so you can bring it to them. Another actionable task is that you have to pay attention to your social media strategy. So there's a lot of people in social media, and whatever you put out there, these are the things that people will remember you for. So an easy hack that I did starting like 2015 or something, which you can do right away, is think of 3 adjectives that you want to be known for, and only post stuff related to those 3 adjectives. Okay, so whatever those adjectives are, the top 3 that pops into your head that you want to relate the most, or you want to perceive as you, these are the only adjectives that should be reflected in all of your social media posts, statuses, photos, and whatever. So if you think of something that doesn't fit into these 3 adjectives, then just take it out, because these are the things that make up your brand. And if you're selling something, and if you want to be known for something, then you have to stick to your brand. You have to stick to a narrow path, and that's what people will remember you for. Next task is you have to position yourself as an authority. Okay, so an authority is someone who is a leading figure in an industry. So if you are a leading person in your industry, then people will already expect your price to be high, because you're up there. Okay, so if your client is the kind of client who who will work with someone down here, that's not you. And you don't want them to see that you are here. You want them to see that you are here. So that's why you should always position yourself as an authority. There are a lot of things that you can do. You can give free advice to your market. You can book speaking engagements, paid speaking engagements. That's very powerful. You can have a dramatic demonstration of your skills and your abilities on social media. You can publish a book. You can publish a press release about you. Pay a PR professional to build you a solid brand and a solid image, and then make you actionable tasks on what you should do with your PR and your branding. So you should position yourself as an authority, because when people see you as an authority, they will have less resistance towards you. Okay, so it's very simple. It's very simple human psychology. If you're an authority, people will most likely not have to debate with you. They don't want to. They already respect you. They already expect you to be up here. And if they're down here, and if they're this kind of person, of course they will still try to book you, because they look up to you. And they, you know, sometimes they will ask. They're hopeful. Maybe they can afford you. But then people thinking that they want to afford you and they really believe in what you do is better than people thinking that, oh, your price is too high, and they think that you're not worth it. So, you know, there's a difference. And the fourth actionable task is that you can let your clients speak for you. Testimonials are amazing social proof, and they establish professionalism and presence in the market. So if you have social proof, you have testimonials from your clients, especially big clients, then this will do so well for you and your branding and your positioning in the market. So you can build a professional website with your professional profile, and then you can present all of these nice testimonials coming from your biggest clients when you close your biggest contracts. So if these clients are absolutely happy, especially if they're long-term clients, you can also mention that there in their testimonial, then it's you get more social proof that other people believe in you, and other people already paid what you're charging. So it doesn't matter if you just raised your prices right now, or if you doubled your price or tripled your price this year. Last year I doubled my price. This year I doubled my price again, and I'm still increasing some of my prices for the other services that I offer, and I never ever get resistance from it. In fact, I get to actually keep most of my clients, and I have a lot of clients which have been with me for years. Okay, the fifth actionable task is you have to show your clients, your prospects, how you continuously invest in your career. So if you are the kind of person who is invested in learning more, if you are the kind of person who is invested in going outside, meeting people, networking, if people see that you're invested in your career, there is a high likelihood that they will respect you a lot for it, and you give them more reason to also invest in you. So I have coaches, I have coaches, and I have mentors, and I follow a lot of good people online, good and amazing, talented, skilled people, successful people online. I read a lot of books. I go to workshops, even international ones. I really spend for my learning. In fact, I still want to get some certifications, and since I'm still young, you know, an MBA is still not out of the picture yet, so I'm still thinking about it. But the more that the public or your prospect clients know that you continuously invest in your art, they will know that being with you and working with you will also be a good investment. Okay, and lastly, the last actionable task that you can do to prevent price resistance is you have to be firm. Okay, you have to be firm about your prices. Some people will not book you for the first time, and they will try to negotiate with you, but you have to be firm. Don't dip your prices for someone just to, you know, just to land them, especially if you've been in the industry for a long time. So be firm, and when you give out your price, don't flinch and don't justify. Be 100% convinced that that price is 100% valuable, and you are definitely worth that price. Okay, so I hope you remember those 6 things, and I hope you continue to operate better and continue to learn more and invest in your career and let people know about it, that you be firm, that you continuously get a lot of social proof, that you clean up your social media profile, and most of all, that you always believe and you always believe what your time is worth to you and to the results that you will bring your client. When you believe this truly in your heart, then there will be no problem pricing what you're worth, and you will have less price resistance from your prospect clients. Okay, thank you, and now I'm gonna head to the beach. See you tomorrow.